Mohamed Jagana, President of the Chamber of Commerce. Thanks for coming to the annual Meet the Press held here at Kerr Jula. The whole idea of the annual Meet the Press is to inform our members, partners, and the general public about our activities in the last year and our plans for 2018. And at the same time, we also wanted to launch the Trade Fair 2018, which is going to start in March at the stadium. So we're looking forward to see all of you out there. The annual Meet the Press was very successful. We had a very good interaction with members of the press, members of the business communities, and members of the GCCI. And we hope that our programs for 2018 will be successful and more Gambian businesses will be created so that we can increase the tax base of the economy. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Daba. I am Daba Malik from Africa Energy Solutions. I came to the chamber today to attend the 5th Meet the Press by the Gambia Chamber of Commerce. And I think it's important because it also helps us business people that are affiliated with the chamber to know what the chamber is up to. And as we go towards the 2018 trade fair, I think it was important that they call members and the press to brief people about what they're doing, and some of us also to know some of the informations we can get from the chamber and what are the benefits that as a young entrepreneur that you can derive from being a member of the chamber. So yeah, it was cool because I've learned a lot today that I didn't know before. You know, also like having the business commission where, you know, the chamber and sits with government to talk about policies that will help spearhead, you know, Gambian businesses and all that stuff. So I think it was good, and maybe it needs to be done biannually. That will also help businesses to know what actually they're doing. And thank you.
But we already have plans to start engaging the National Assembly, engaging the government and our members to tell them what we think should be done in terms of budget reforms to help Gambia to be a more attractive place for businesses. So that is something that we're going to actively start now before the next budget. Thank you. I'll get Chairman Jabi to reply about the trade fair. Thanks.
About the media partners, because of the list is too long, so we can't go through the whole names. That's why I said some of the media partners. I named GRTS, QTV, West Coast, but we have Foria, we have Point. I'm sorry about I didn't name your company's name, so, but I just need to name a few of the categories.
Thank you very much. Personally, access to finance is one of the most daring things that I personally take up from my own personal perspective and as the president of the Chamber of Commerce. Currently, the Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industries is working with multilaterals to develop a fund that would allow young Gambian businesses to have equity participation in terms of access to finance. However, Mr. Ndao from GT Bank is here and some other bankers. They might be able to confirm this better. The current banking structure is a mismatch. And that's why I said government needs to reform the banking structure to allow banks to be able to give long-term capital. So this is something that we need to keep saying so that people that are in that line can help reform the legislation to allow banks to invest in long-term. But at the moment, I'll just give a quick summary. The banks can only give out what customers deposit, and most customers' deposits are within a 1-year time frame. So if you go to a bank, they cannot give you a 5-year loan unless they have a deposit that can match that. But I think government can change legislation that will allow banks to participate in longer-term financing of projects. At the same time, also, in some countries, they have what they call development banks. They have special concessions from government that allow them to finance development projects. Historically, we had it in Gambia, but unfortunately, it did not work. But this is something that the Gambia government needs to look into again and see how we can reactivate. Thank you.
Mr. President, you mentioned job creation, entrepreneurship, and the tourism industry that's actually a key industry in the Gambia. And I would like to ask, how is that going to be possible of all-inclusive tourism, which is very well known to be extremely devastating to a country's economy, especially the developing country economy, and extremely frowned on in today's industry for tourism. If you just take a look at UN WTO report for 2015, you will read how important tourism is in addressing practically all of the SDGs. The most successful countries in tourism apply responsible tourism, and they've been able to boost the economy significantly. Yet we have regressed and taken the most damaging form of tourism that is eventually going to put a lot of people out of jobs and businesses to close down. So I think we really need to take a close look at that. At the moment, maybe just a few people are complaining about it. We've seen an increase in crime. We forget how much tourism impacts people's income in this country. Even if you're not directly linked to the hotel or the restaurant, but it does trickle down, and there's a lot of businesses that are indirectly as well connected to tourism that are being very badly affected today. So I think this is a very critical thing we have to look into before it gets out of hand, and it's going to be very hard to turn back. I'm Mandy, Gaia Art Cafe and Global Environmental Solutions Africa, which we're just starting up now.
Thank you, Mandy. I agree with you, and I think if we want to really harness our tourism industry, we have to be bold about it. We cannot take a cheap and easy way. Cheap and easy way is all-inclusive, and it's not going to help. In fact, all-inclusive doesn't bring that much of the economic activity into the country. It basically deprives the trickle-down effect of what is expected in tourism to filter into the economy. So I think really this is something that we can take up with the Ministry of Tourism and Gambia Tourism Board, but it's a strategy that I personally don't think that it would help expand the tourism industry in Gambia, and it would not be sustainable. Then most of the all-inclusive packages would be basically along the Senegambia Fajara belt, but then we have great sites all over the country that would not benefit from tourism, and I think it's something that government really needs to look into and see how to develop a tourism industry that would encourage local tourism and also allow other towns and villages that have historical relevance to attract tourists. I agree with you on that, Mandy. Thank you. I'll start with some of the answers, and Beatrice will also talk to you about it. GCCI is a membership-based association. Our members include startups to banks. So we do not have a tailor-made package. We cut across all industries, youth, women, startups. And we encourage people to come and join GCCI, because since it's a membership-based association, we tend to lobby and advocate for our members. And we're here to serve you. We don't have a one-package benefit, but we do lobby and provide advisory services. However, if you come with a particular or specific industry need, as members of GCCI, we'll take it up with the relevant authorities. But I'll let Beatrice also talk a little bit about some of the membership benefits. Thanks, Yenabu. Good question.
We realize that particularly these young ones that you are saying coming up, some of them don't even have a business plan. They don't know how to keep their books. And these are very important aspects of running a business. So one of the benefits is conducting training on areas that we find lacking for some of these businesses. We also conduct B2B, business-to-business meetings. We will link any business with another business locally or abroad that can do business together. We also conduct B2G meetings that's linking businesses to government. There are some businesses that may want to see GAIPA. We will try to link you to GAIPA, or if you are in agriculture, we'll try to link you to the Ministry of Agriculture. These are some of the benefits. We organize the trade fair that we just launched. The main aim of the trade fair is to help promote your business. If you are young and you have a business and nobody really knows about it, it's going to be difficult for you to break even. But if you now participate in the trade fair and make a lot of contacts, not only contacts for the trade fair, but lasting contacts, you find that even after the trade fair, people get to know what you are doing. We also have our monthly electronic bulletin, which we circulate to all of the members, telling you of what is happening. We also have the business awards to reward businesses for excellence. I think you've heard of our awards before, and we give it to companies that are deserving, that have proved that they are innovative and they have done well in their sector. So these are just a few, but there are many. What we also say to businesses, you also tell us what you expect from GCCI. We have the generic service, but it may not be one size fitting all. So what we say to you is, tell us if you have any specific needs that we all also talk to you about. We also have a business forum on GRTS. It comes on 7 o'clock every Saturday up to 7:45. And during this forum also, we talk about issues that are affecting business from across the board. And we invite government and private sector players to come in and share their experiences and clear some of the things that are not clear to the business people. In short, these are some of the things that we do. We also organize trade fairs externally. We do take our members to attend trade fairs in other countries and seminars. But please see me after and we can go into more detail. Thank you very much. We also expect our members to share what your institution is doing by way of changing the business environment. Thank you, sir.
Now, we are fortunate that most of the banks are highly liquid and we have a lot of funds lying down idle. Now, then again, if you have your funds, just putting it into savings account or treasury, for example, I would have thought or would have preferred to invest in a very viable company, if I see, and then they can use that funds and to much advantage. But then again, in the terms of developing the capital market, this is my question now. How far have we done with that? It's been much talked about in the past, and I don't know whether I should direct that to the GCCI or the Central Bank of the Gambia. This is something I wanted to really ask.
As a matter of fact, the Capital Market Task Force has been working for the last 3 years. With regret, we've not had much progress. But the good thing is we've recently received support from the ADB for the development of the capital market. So we're hopeful that in the next few weeks, the paperwork and the required legislation to get it going will be worked upon. And it's our hope that by the end of this year, the capital market would be in place. I regret that it's not taken off so far. It's taken too long. But we will continue to work and advocate until we achieve the objective.
Yeah, like you rightly said, the main function of the GCCI is to promote the businesses and also link us to other investors. As part of the trade fair, we want to know if you guys have any plans to get in foreign investors that we, the local businesses, can also meet and see if we can talk to them about financing. We have been the main challenges of the businesses in the Gambia. And the other thing you talk about is about the banking system. I can tell you they are doing very well, but if you want to do a big-time business like petroleum, you find it very difficult to get finance from the banks. As you rightly said, all the deposits they hold are demand deposits. But now for big-time investors, like in the petroleum sector, we will need to have some investors who can invest long-term. So having been a member of the GCCI for almost 1 year, we haven't received any service, not a call, not training, not any linkage. So we want to see if they can open a window for businesses so that we can contact them, or at least once in a while they can call us for any other service that they can deliver to us. We would really appreciate that.
High value financing, Mr. Seka mentioned the capital market. We hope that the legislation would be pushed so that it can quickly come on board. So people in your industries, petroleum and energy, which is very critical to this country, I consider the national strategic business could be financed, especially seen in an indigenous Gambian in it. In terms of the communications and dealing with the Chamber of Commerce, I think Beatrice would get in touch with you
to show you how you can get our monthly e-bulletin. We also have an app. We have a lot of updates there. And we also have a social media platform that you can follow. We post a lot of updates there. Unfortunately, we don't do much telephone calls anymore. We tend to use more of social media and technology to communicate with our members. Thanks.
Just before you come in, I want to invite Alpha, our IT specialist, to talk to you about all these ways that we use to communicate with you quickly.
On all the cross platforms that we have at GAM Chamber, Facebook at GAM Chamber, Twitter at GAM Chamber, Instagram at GAM Chamber. The GCCI mobile app has endless features, as you can see from the video. It allows business informations and business locations, publishing them on Google Map. I remember adding Sahara. The lady came from your company, and I did publish them, and it was also featured in all the GCCI monthly e-bulletins. So these are apps that when you download, you can stay in touch immediately with whatever we do as this event is going on. There are publications online already. So you can just follow all of it at GAM Chamber. Thank you.
Okay, my question is that it's regarding to your subscription, which you know that I can remember some few years back I've previously registered, and then the following year I came, the subscription was increased. Why and how comes that has been increased? Since now you people have a easy way of communication without much cost, without sending letters from office to send messengers, and also to buy credit or maybe to pay phone bills or something like that. So like you said, technology or the apps you people are having, and then you can send one email more than 200 people by making a CC like copy, so everybody can be have a the mean of communication and the services that you have. And also you have an apps that you know that we can download on our phones. We can able to see all the service that you are having, or the how to connect the business people together. And then my other doubt is that how you people can attract like small business entrepreneurs those are to start. And then because if you people are having a high cost of subscription for membership, like small medium like $7,500 if I can remember, and medium $15,000, and then after all you have to pay your business turnout for taxes, and also you have to register with KMC, GPP, and so. So what will be your turnout, and then also you have bills to pay like electric and water, and also you have to pay your staff your monthly salaries, and then the goods and the service that you purchase. So I think the chamber has to look into some considerations to minimize or to reduce the cost of the annual subscription, so that to attract more business and entrepreneurs in order to join, and then we can partnership in a developing and very sensitive way.
Thank you, Mr. Ba, for your contribution to this morning's conversation. First of all, we recognize that there are different levels of membership, starting from the most basic. President mentioned it. In fact, called the Jula trader, the startup, the small, medium, up to the largest. Indeed, we recognize that everybody operates at some level, whether it's micro or medium level. Having said that, the costs also are not related to an individual enterprise. These are the global costs of running the chamber. When you have a lot more professional staff, today the Chamber of Commerce is double the size of the workforce it was 5 years ago. It has 10 more professional staff than we've ever employed. You've seen the edifice of this building, what it takes to run and to have all the services delivered with all the IT applications and the new technology that we apply. So these actually call for additional costs and services. So you recognize that with an output also there would be a similar input. But notwithstanding, we also advocate and work to see how we can work with the government. And one of the things that the President mentioned is the reduction of taxes, both personal income tax, Some of you that earn salaries would have seen that this month your salaries have gone up. Corporate income tax has reduced. PPP engagement is much higher. We talk to government a lot more. So to provide all these services and to engage the government also costs some money. But notwithstanding, we also recognize that there are additional costs like registration and license fees with municipalities, etc., that we'll have to continue to work on. So I want to assure you that we will continue to recognize the challenges, and until we achieve this, we will not relent on that. Actually, I think that answers the question.
What we also expecting that in terms of the policy and the reforms, we hope that Gambia government will create opportunities for more Gambian businesses to have to expand their businesses, so that your subscription to the chamber would not be a challenge. You'll be voluntarily actually contributing more. We hope that the economy will expand rapidly so that all of us can benefit from it. So that's what we're doing together to push the government so that more Gambians would be engaged in active business and create more jobs. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I am Malik. My question would center on experiences that we have for the past, during the past regime. We have realized they concentrated more on foreign businesses, which over the years have either forced some Gambian businesses to go out of business or leave the country and go outside. My take is, in the advent of the new Gambia, it seems the same kind of policy is still going on. And which, to me, like a couple of years ago, I read an article written by a former Senegalese president, Moussa Ablaye Wade. And when he made it a policy to take over Senegalese businesses that were given to French companies, and I think the French government wasn't happy, and then he did an article on Zen Afrique to say if you go to any country and then find out that the indigenes are not the people in control of the economy, it will take time or it will take years for that kind of country to develop. So what is the chamber, what kind of advice is the chamber giving to the new Gambia government with regards to either making it a policy for public-private partnership or patronizing Gambian businesses, or even whereas they have foreign firms coming over to do business in Gambia, they make it a policy that they look for a local partner that they will collaborate with to do the work. And in doing so, they will also transfer expertise by the time they leave. And another thing is, I will ask, what's the name again? The guy from GT Bank. I think my take is like, for the past years, I think Gambian banks have just been kind of, I wouldn't call it lazy, but I think they were running away from taking so much risk and doing banking the cheap way. And that was like the former government was taking so much treasury bills, and banks thought it was easier, it was kind of risk-free to take 80% of their total deposits and then deposit with the central banks, which guarantees them, even probably before 6 months, they would have known that they have already made profit, instead of supporting businesses, that especially startups. Because usually as a startup, you find it very difficult to have access to finance from banks. And usually they sit on the sideline until they know you have grown and started making money. That's when they come to approach and start selling their services to you. And my experience with other countries, for example, what especially your bank gonna do, if you see a business that has a very sound business plan, which is viable, why not just take the risk and invest or support that person, help coach, mentor along the way? Because if it grows to be a viable business, then the loyalty of that business in staying with your bank, both of you would benefit. So, but usually Gambian banks, what they do is they sit on the sidelines, wait until the business started making money when they come in. And at the end of the day also, you look at, even whereas they give you loans, they still ask for collaterals, which means the loan is secured, but still the interest rate at which they charge is high. Because I think if a loan is secured, the interest rate should go down. Because the reason why the interest rate should go up is if the loan is not secured. So what is the Gambia Banking Association doing to help local business with regards to that? Thank you.
Let me just comment on the first part. Malik, thank you. You've raised a very important question in terms of local content. Whether it's New Gambia or Gambia, the GPPA Act states clearly where a service or a product is being provided by a Gambian company, they should be given preference when government is procuring for that service or that product. But unfortunately, it looks like sometimes when people move from private citizens or private sector and go to government, they think and act differently. I always tell people, the freest economy in the world is United States, but it's the most regulated economy. There are certain government contracts that the US government would not give to any company that is not owned or managed or operated by US citizens. It's very simple. We, Gambia, need to prioritize and make sure that local content, Gambian businesses are given priorities on projects, services that Gambia government is procuring. At the end of the day, it's we that create the jobs, it's we that pay the taxes, that bail out the government when it's in trouble. So to me, it doesn't make any sense why the government of the Gambia would take its products or projects and not consider Gambian businesses first in terms of delivery. Fine, if there's no capacity, you create the environment that would encourage the investors to partner with local companies. That would help create wealth, it would help create jobs, it would help even increase the tax base that the government would rely on. So really, to me, it's a no-brainer. I'll let Palu, you cannot take too much of the time because the 1 hour is already up and I don't want to keep people here.
We just want to also acknowledge the presence of Alex from Trust Bank, so maybe he will also have something to say to that.
Thank you very much. What's your name again, sorry? Malik. I think you've raised a very important question, and this debate has been going on forever. And I think it's only fair that we put our side of the story. But then again, you see, banks are what we call financial intermediaries. They take money from one hand, and then they lend on the other hand. So in this process, maybe they will make some little bit of difference. Now, when we lend, it's like people's money that we are lending. Now, I'll walk to a shop, I take my money, I buy a tin of milk, and then that's it. But this one is like other people's money that I'm working with. Now, when they come to my bank, they would have expected to get their money back. It's not like I've lent it out, they haven't paid, and then I'll wait until they pay, I'll give you your money back. It doesn't work like that. Now, we are also what we call regulated institutions. We are being regulated, highly regulated, because we are working with other people's money. I won't take your money, do anything, and then you just come and say, okay, I've lost it, I've lost it. So government will make sure through the central bank that those monies are protected. Now, if you are doing a new venture, which is mostly high risk, government or the central bank would have expected to have a good cover where you can recover or you can fall back when the money is not forthcoming. Now, our third world countries are one of the highest default rates in terms of lending. And we have to acknowledge that we are a young country and we are growing. We cannot be lavish like other big economics are doing because they have the pool, they have the volumes which they can be neutralized if you make a loss. But then again, there are some investments, when you make a loss, then the bank is in trouble. When the bank is in trouble, then the whole economy is in trouble. Because people who have earned their hard monies and putting in, then what do you tell to them? That's why banks are very cautious in the when they lend, and they have to follow guidelines. I would have loved to lend out and make more money. That's why I'm in business. So, but if somebody comes with a proposition which is well thought and well written, then again, I would have made sure that if I want to put in this monies in, I will expect to get it back. Now, if I send, and any right investment person would have to, if I see a very safe avenue where I should put my money in, banks are in business like anybody else, I would have put it there, rather than taking a risk which at the end of the day I will make losses. So this is the debate we have been going on. That's why we've been stressing on the capital market. That one, you have your good ideas, you sell it to the people. Anybody who wants to invest in your business will invest so that they know that they are taking this risk. But banks are not in the business of speculation. They're there, and they will take prudent approach to make sure that they lend out money, which is other people's money.
I just want to comment. Yeah, my name is Yusuf Akeita. I work with GAIPA. I just want to make a comment on the last question that was asked in terms of government influence in business development in the Gambia. The challenges that you have mentioned in terms of tax, in terms of financing and other regulatory frameworks, the government, from our own point of view, from GAIPA and I know of GCCI as well, we have recognized and acknowledged all these challenges that the businesses are facing. And this is why last year we worked with GCCI and other relevant institutions to develop the entrepreneurship policy in the Gambia. And when you look at the entrepreneurship policy, all these things that you are mentioning in terms of finance, in terms of taxes, and also funds that can help entrepreneurs to develop their businesses, all of them have been taken care of in the entrepreneurship policy that we have. And we also have the youth empowerment project also in the Gambia that are helping young people to establish innovative businesses in the Gambia. So these are some of the things that we are doing at our own end to ensure that the challenges that the businesses are facing in the Gambia is a thing of the past, and we develop innovative businesses that can prosper the economy of the Gambia. And likewise, GCCI also is doing on the capacity building of entrepreneurs. You build entrepreneurs their capacity, we expect them to go out there and then give their very best so that they can develop innovative businesses. So at the end of the day, it's not only about the government, but we have to take a responsibility to ensure we develop our country and move it to the next level. Thank you.
Thank you very much. But before we wrap up, I would like to invite AfriCell to launch our platform for the raffle. And Ma'am Associatio Jula is here to do so.
Hello everyone. My name is Ma'am Associatio Jula, working in the Quality Department, AfriCell Gambia Limited. We are here to launch the raffle platform, the voting platform which has been created on 1-888. So you can see anyone can vote on 1-888. Yes. Yes, 1-888. We have the voice prompt on which they've been working on when I was coming, and they're already done with it. So you can go ahead on voting on 1-888. Yeah. Any questions? I can take them, and then I'll go. When I go back, then. I mean, like the voting platform is voting on 1-888 for the raffle. 1-888 for the raffle. It's absolutely, for now, we are yet to work on that. And when I go back, I'll make sure that $10 per SMS or $10 per taxi. Based on your request, this is how we are doing it. Yeah, so it's 1-888, and as you said, $10 per SMS. This is exactly because we are following your request.
For the raffle, you don't need to raffle. It's already mine. This is already mine, so you don't have to. We'll have also on the 27th, which is the official opening. We'll have a raffle by Fly Mid Africa, a free ticket, air flight ticket, free to anywhere in ECOWAS. Senegal, Sierra Leone, Ghana, Nigeria. So this stuff will be on the 27th, which will be on Tuesday. And then the 7th of April, there will be a second raffle also by the same company, Fly Mid Africa, the same destinations, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Senegal, and Ghana.
Yes. When our raffle tickets, as you realize, some of you have already bought, is costing $100. So when you send 10 text messages, you will be entitled to the card draw. But if you do the $10 is also, there are these two prizes to be won. So I want to challenge everybody, starting with myself. Alpha, can you please send the text and we do the test now? Please, everybody with AfriCell line, support your chamber, support your partner. We are your business organization, we are your employers association. So please send the text messages now, so that by the time she gets there, there'll be something.
They are more better, how do you call it, not better, but good news again. GTB will be also raffling $100,000 for second prize. So we have the car raffle, which is going to be during the annual dinner, and then we'll have the first raffle by Mid Africa, which will be on the 27th, and then we'll have the second on the 7th of April. We'll have the GTB 100,000 also, which is a second place raffle. Okay.
Thank you very much. So we are inviting you all to the official opening of the trade fair, which would be at 10 o'clock on the 27th of March. I'll now invite the president to close this gathering. Thank you.
I'm sorry to stop. There are also stalls that will be available for small startup businesses. If you can't afford a stall, there will be stalls available. It's minimal, but if you can put your name down, and then there are companies that will want to help. Okay.
I want to take this opportunity to thank everybody for coming out and spending the hour with us. And have a good day, and we wish you a very successful 2018. And we hope that the Gambia government would take the bold step to give more businesses to Gambian businesses in terms of prioritization. And where the content or the capacity is not there, the legislation should be there to allow local content. Thank you and have a blessed day.